Data analytics gives you the advantage of getting to answer questions in a faster time. In esports, you have a topic where all those technologies can be applied with an actual great purpose.
Welcome back to the second major of the year. My name is Rich. I'm going to be your host, and I'm joined on the desk by two people that have predicted VP to win every single game that we have seen. And once again, you guys, incorrect here. Are you? How surprised are you, though, that it actually does play out this way? We're watching them match quite closely, and Slark is definitely going to be a big factor in the conversation here. But Gods, how thrown off guard are you right now?
A little bit, but I guess it's kind of been the story of VP today, where they've looked good but not dominant. They've gotten overconfident. They've thrown away some leads, and I feel like this is the same one again. They were, diving tier 4 towers at one point. They were going high ground. They hadn't even killed the tier 3s or the racks yet, and they kind of threw away their lead a bit this game. Not to take away anything from TNC, who did play very well. Yeah,
I think that's the big question, though. There was the mentality of, yeah, VP just getting started. You don't necessarily need to worry if you're a VP fan with some of the shaky performances that we've seen. But now I have to ask the question, do you start to worry at this point? Is now the time to start worrying if you're a VP fan?
I think VP just need to calm down a bit. They had the game in their grasp, but then they were just a bit overconfident, went in a bit too deep, and then the enemy team got 2 BKBs up. They couldn't teamfight anymore. And then, we said it, late game they have no chance against Slark Kunkka combo. And then once it reached there, they got completely obliterated. And
yeah, I think you kind of oversold the Lich Grim circuit a bit, because once cores do at BKB, you're actually not too worried about those supports.
To be fair, at the timing they did not have BKBs, and they crushed every single team fight until they did that overconfident move. Of course, nowadays that's Dota. You lose one fight like that, enemy has 2 BKBs, and suddenly you can't fight anymore.
I also feel like they didn't lane it as well as they could have. Like, not playing the Timbersaw mid seemed a bit off. I think they would have been further ahead if they laned it that way. Like, yeah, they didn't want the Tide to maybe be against the Slark Dazzle lane, but I think sacrificing the Tide so Kunkka can get crushed in lane by this Timbersaw would have actually made the game look a whole lot better, because Kunkka was the guy making plays. He was the guy keeping TNC in the game.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about shutting the playmaker down early, and they have a Tiny for later, but early game it's all Kunkka, and he had a free game, and I don't know why you would give him a free game if you have the means to shut him down.
I want to ask you, though, as well, is this the time that you start to get worried for VP, or do you think that they still have a long enough runway, even if maybe they don't take this series? Are you worried at all yet?
I'm not worried about VP. They're a team always a bit prone to getting a bit overconfident or being slightly off. I think it's hard to go into day one when it's a group stage where nobody's getting eliminated and really be on your complete A game and be 100% focused. Some teams absolutely can. VP is a team that sometimes doesn't fall in that category. They play their best Dota once they get into the main stage of the tournament. Once they're on playing in the stage in front of the crowd, that's when VP really shows up and will step up their game. I think right now they're just a bit too relaxed.
Yeah, the higher the stakes, the better VP plays usually. So
unless it's TI.
Unless it's TI. I mean, they always do like respectably there, but they underperform, of course. Yeah. Like, they're not playing their best for sure. But in this particular case, I think even if they were to drop the series to TNC, then in the next series we would see a much stronger VP, a much more focused VP. So definitely I think they will get out of the group. But TNC, if VP keeps playing as sloppy as they did here, they can definitely take it. We have said it before. Threat for upset is existing, and they've just shown it.
Yeah, but you think if they do drop down in that series and all of a sudden now they start to face a much grimmer situation, you may see the wake-up call. You may see VP actually start performing at the level that we all are expecting them to perform at.
Yeah, I think either way they're getting out top 2 in this group.
So you're still confident with them grabbing top 2, and they still do have the chance in this series to grab that #1 spot. But TNC, let's give them a little bit of credit. What did they actually do to take this first game in the series, in your opinion, Gods?
I mean, you see here, Armel, his net worth was ahead of everyone. He completely crushed his lane in the early game. He was the guy going around with this early Shadow Blade, finding kills, making plays. And Slark kind of had a bit of a rough time. He's doing okay here, but he starts to fall off and not keep up and farm with Medusa. And luckily for him, he's got this Magnus on his team to actually enable him to get up to a decent timing with his Shadow Blade, Silver Edge, and actually kind of come online.
Yeah, if there's no Magnus game, he would have been out of the game for sure.
Yes, I think they just straight up lose because Slark was their win condition.
Yeah, Slark can't have a slow game in a game like this and recover unless you have a Magnus. So, as we said, they have all the right pieces to empower that Magnus. literally again.
Out of the Slark, but yeah.
Oh, so the Slark, yeah.
Yep.
And
then the BKB timing, like you're playing against Grim Lich plus Tide. I mean, it's not even just Grim Lich, it's the Tide as well, and Timbersaw.
I mean, we see it here. They take the Roshan. It looks really good, but they have no BKB. They can't fight.
No, TNC took the Aegis, though.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
If VP got this Aegis, this game could have been very different, though.
Yeah, TNC took the Roche, took the Aegis, but they just couldn't fight at all because they didn't have these BKBs. And now we see the overextension of VP.
Yeah. And I think that's the other thing here is if VP had maybe secured that Aegis and then gone high ground, you know, you have your Vlad, you have your Medusa, your Timbersaw, who's just a great sieging hero, great slow sieging hero because he just stands in the front lines and you can't defend when there's this Timber in your face. And, you know, the game kind of almost ends here, I think, with an Aegis potentially. But this was such a good hold from TNC.
Yeah, super well played. Very good mag ult.
Armel just destroying them too.
Yeah. I mean, was the game deciding fight pretty much. After that, they get the 2 BKBs, and VP actually can't teamfight them anymore.
Now, who are you really putting the pressure on coming into this second game? Now, we said TNC obviously played really well. They draft really well. Also, they find that perfect situation to really empower what they do get through in the draft. But we also say VP is sloppy. So who's it really on here? Are you more looking for TNC to come out and match the level of performance that they've had in both draft and in the game? Or is it on VP to just tighten the hell up?
It's all on VP, I think. I think TNC is showing, you know, we're legit. You guys have to respect us. You can't play cocky against us. Armel just, I mean, MVP for me. He just destroyed it this game. There we go. His hero damage at the end was absolutely phenomenal. I think no one on his Timbersaw looked a bit tilted at times this game, making some kind of overly aggressive plays, dying maybe a little bit unnecessarily.
Also, it looked like he's not really used to the new Bloodstone yet. A couple of times where he died without using it.
Heard you screaming that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the new Bloodstone, honestly, it happens to me too a lot. You just forget it actually has an item other than, a use other than Suicide now. Well, it's not Suicide anymore. It actually heals you for a very substantial amount. And, you know, people that played the game for so long, they just forget because it was in the game for 5 years. Just recently changed, and not so easy to always keep track of everything.
And I do want to bring it back as much as we are saying, hey, look, it's on VP. VP needs to figure out what's going on here. If they play well, they're going to be able to take this series. I do want to also say, with TNC playing so well, we talked about it earlier, this is a team that does have a stand-in. Now that we've gotten to take a peek, how are they actually faring with that player that they're not going to be as used to?
They set him up, at least this game and one of their previous 2 games, to have a kind of straightforward game. Put him on Magnus. This is not a role. Yeah, it's an easier role. It's a very simple task. Use your Empower spell on your carry so he can farm faster and try and hit some RPs down the road. I think it's one of the more straightforward heroes to put a stand-in on, just because, you know, it's not overly complicated what you have to do. So we may see more of that. I actually would like to maybe see Magnus banned by VP, just to be like, look, yeah, it's maybe not the most OP hero or something that is must ban worthy, but it forces TNC to go a different direction.
Take him out of the comfort zone. Why not? Just do it. 1 ban.
Seems like a great strategy, right? I mean, if you can say, okay, the potential weakness of this team is the fact that they're playing with someone they're not nearly as used to. In the interview that we heard earlier, they said, yeah, we had like 2 days of prep with him. We'll be fine. We're going to wing it. If you can actually say, by targeting in that phase, say, okay, we get a hero out, take away that strategy, it seems like a winning play.
Yeah, it could be, but at the same time, we don't know what else they have up their sleeves.
Yeah, Rhea is not just a one-hero spammer.
Yeah. I mean, he played Earth Spirit for them before, and they crushed that game as well, so we'll see. I think VP is going to ban Mag. I'm not sure. Maybe they will first pick it themselves. We'll see. But I think they have more to show. TNC does.
It does seem like a very important thing, though, to be able to do if you do have a stand-in, saying, okay, look, it's going to be a linear strategy for you. It's going to be much easier. And then you don't have to worry about those arguments of who's playing to who's trying to mull to who. So if TNC is able to do that again in the draft, all of a sudden they start to inch up maybe more and more in the predictions. Maybe we'll actually see you guys for the first time today not predict VP after we get through this draft. But we're going to
don't get too crazy here, Rich.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
We're riding VP today.
Like, and I literally were talking before, like during the break, we were like, how many times are we going to see 9 VP predictions? If we see them drop down here, there is a potential for it.
It is possible for sure.
It could just be a day of VP Dota.
Yeah.
It actually could be on the main stream if they aren't able to grab this here.
Dusa, because they obviously banned Kunkka first, and in response to that, they want to ban the Dusa. So
if they felt confident in their ability to play like anti-mage or something, maybe that would change. But also, no, VP may just ban the anti-mage and then put you in a tough spot.
They're not going to ban it anymore. I think just banning the Mag now could be a good play. Why not? There's nothing else to ban for you. Or maybe they just want to. Maybe they just want to face it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, some teams seem to have found different ideas and ways to play against it. Like the Timbersaw was one of those that came out. So it plays very slow, and I think that's something VP have always been good at taking advantage of. Is you're going to play slow, we're going to crush the lanes, run at you, and just win the game in 20 minutes. They didn't take that approach last game because they'd already committed to Medusa. So perhaps this time they leave Magnus in and play a more fast-paced game of their own.
Well, I guess they didn't expand the Dusa bank because they're eating in their bonus time quite a bit.
There's still Lich is probably that, though. Maybe Big Hero being considered.
Lich, yeah. Actually, I spoke to Alan Nahas just in the break, and he said Lich Grimstroke actually didn't win so much. It was just Lich by himself that won a lot. Okay. But when the combo was actually present, they lost most of their games together.
I've seen a lot of Lich Grim like win and lose just because basically every team was first two picking Lich and Grim together for a long period of time, and I'm not sold on Grimstroke being actually like the best support in Dota right now. I feel like his I don't know, he seems to just have some gaps.
They go Magnus first pick again.
IO, we didn't even mention the IO, but he was still in the pool. So
they go back for the Lich. Of course, Tusk. The new tag team spell of Tusk is ridiculously strong. It empowers so many heroes. You can't fight that lane, honestly. Like Tusk +1 is incredibly hard to fight into.
So you can't fight him. You can't fight the Lich +1.
The lanes are gonna be hard.
You just give up on the laning stage.
Not give
You've
up.
got Magnus too. That's what I was just mentioning. It's like Magnus is here that's going to start slow, and Magnus doesn't have an amazing laning stage, so you need to make sure VP don't just destroy you there.
If you want to fight Tusk, you need like a Dazzle.
Range
oh well, they have a Dazzle.
Dazzle plus something.
Dazzle,
like Troll or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because if you ever get blocked into a shard with two heroes hitting with a tag team on, the damage is so massive.
Is Gabby could see a Dazzle Weaver? He likes his Weaver. Although you've got Magnus, so you almost want to get a melee hero, which is where
you probably want to get a melee hero, but
Jug, Troll kind of come to mind, maybe.
Yeah. Even PA, blow up that Lich.
No.
Lots of possibilities. Whether they played Dazzle as support last game, right?
5 position
on
last
Ninja
2 games in a row now.
On 2 games in a row.
Yeah, so that seems to be where they head with this hero. And the Magnus is just so nice as an opening hero because it literally means there's almost 10 different carries that you can play. So you can pick a Slark. Like last game with Slark works because you have Magnus. If you don't have it, you lose that game.
But also, you know, the Kunkka is, I kind of feel like vital to the strat because he makes the early game so strong where Magnus is really weak. Not having the Kunkka, I'm going to look forward to what they actually pick for Amel.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of heroes that go really well with the Magnus in the mid lane that at the same time can also carry you through the early game.
And he doesn't have last pick again. It's going to be no one who has the 10th pick, so it could mean, you know, you're not going to maybe get a favorable matchup in your mid lane, which is something I think is so key to this matchup between VP and TNC is how that mid lane goes.
Wait, didn't they have... Well, VP had last pick last game too, right?
Yeah, 2 games in a row, I think we're seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because last game it was what? The 10th pick Timbersaw?
10th pick Timbersaw, yeah. Against the 2nd pick Kunkka.
So Tiny Band is classic go-to, can play 3-4 position. We saw last game, no surprises there.
They banned the OD again, even though there's nothing really that shows. Why do you think that is? They think it's a strong hero, I guess.
Strong hero.
The SEA region in general, like OD is rated really highly in SEA.
Yeah.
Pretty much every pub game has one.
Interesting TNC themselves aren't considering it though.
Amel plays a really good OD as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you've got Magnus, but you're typically just looking to maybe get 1 empower.
Getting 2 is really greedy.
Yeah.
Like you can go like PA plus something and then put the PA middle, but it's so greedy. And it oftentimes doesn't really pay off. Anti-mage. Banned out.
That mean they want to pick?
Well, it might just be because for the Magnus.
Yeah, but I guess there's just so many other heroes you can...
But Mag aim is really strong in the sense that aim is weak because he has to go for Battle Fury. If you can go Vlads into Manta style, he actually becomes a monster with the Empower on him.
And those are 2 supports NAM isn't too afraid of. They have no catch for him. Like Tusk, yeah, he's got some stuns, but he's not really going to catch an AM ever. You're going to be chasing him around the map.
You can snowball after him, but that will just kill yourself probably.
Yeah. So, what a VP one. This may just be like a Jug game for them with the Lich Jug. We've seen a bit.
Terribly.
TB.
TB is one of the better answers to Magnus because the game is very slow. The lane is not too strong.
And most of the Magnus partners are very physical damage based, so you're just, you've got reflection against them and you've got high armor. So
We see like a lot of PA Magnuses against TB, and it always boils down to how does the team fight actually go. Because TB against most Mag partners, as you said, is very good.
You want to get some ways to try and stop Sunder coming out, like some actual lockdown, not just an RP.
Yeah. I was just looking at PA here. Like, I don't believe in Jug versus TB, like, almost ever.
Do you think PL's still viable?
PL is viable.
You got Empower, you can
PL
burn
Mag
TBs.
is very, very slow.
Yeah.
Because the lane is going to be very rough for both of them. And then you usually want a hero, like, that's why PA is so good. You need, like, you don't even need items. You just get Empower and you already deal a lot of damage. But PL with Empower is... okay, they do go for the PA. Yeah. A much faster approach. I like it a lot better than...
Mag PA versus TB. Seen this a lot. It's not like a instant counter. It's just both teams have ways to win fights.
Without the Mag, I actually don't think PA can ever compete with the TB. But with the Mag, it's quite possible.
I think both teams will be looking for some of those more team fight heroes now.
For the mid lane, for sure. Like
mid lane, I mean off lane, like Pasha. We've seen the Tide last game. Those kind of heroes still, to me, stand out a little bit.
Tide Hunter. I'm surprised we don't see like Centaur or something more.
Heroes
just to put on lane pressure.
Yeah, very good in the laning stage with the new Retaliate. I'm surprised it's not being
against
picked as much.
Like Tusk Centaur against the PA Dazzle sounds really easy. Go for Tide Hunter again, okay. Yeah. I mean, this time they can't get Slark.
Centaur's not a Vladspire.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
True. And Tide, obviously very afraid of the OD. OD is already banned, so they don't really care about that. They can't really pick Slark anymore, would be very awkward.
Or you want probably some magic damage type hero for the mid lane here.
Yeah. It could be Tinker. Tinker is really good. Armor has a really good Tinker.
Yeah.
Hero is really slow as well, though. You have Mag, Tinker.
There's no catch really for Tinker right now, but
it can work.
Can you win? You have nothing to hit buildings with.
Yeah.
But
it's not great.
You just let the game drag, and maybe eventually you're. But I don't know. You're just letting the game drag, and at some point TB gets too farmed. I feel.
But, what else do you want to pick? Like a Dragon Knight to get some more tower push, some more front line. But it's also weird with a Mag. That's why I don't like Mag too much sometimes. It just makes the lineups look so weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good mid late game, obviously because of Empower. But just the laning stage is always rough when you have a Mag. If you go even in the laning stage, Mag teams usually win, right?
Maybe they want the Timber Sword.
There
we go. They got the Timber Sword. I was just looking. I was like, what is the magic damage hero that kind of maybe gives them some push? And
OD's banned.
I see Tide TB. Yeah.
OD's banned as well.
Yeah, this is a good Timber Sword game. That makes sense.
But still, tower push non-existent, so they will have to win.
They can pressure towers. Like Timber doesn't push towers, but he pressures them very early.
Yeah.
Because whichever lane he goes to, if you get off to a good start, towers are going to start falling because no one can fight the Timber Sword.
But they win a team fight, and they're not going to get too much out of it until PA actually gets like this Deso and BKB, all these items up. They actually destroy buildings. What can you lane against this Timber that's really good? Like obviously OD's out. Best hero against it.
It's no one. So what's
Monkey King is not really even that good, honestly. It's not bad, but it's not as hard count as it used to be. I mean, obviously you can't put tight middle. Be safe lane. No one. Zeus, Pugna. I think Pugna or Zeus.
Yeah, the Pugna actually sounds like a decent idea.
Yeah, Zeus is very scary against PA. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think the
Pugna is good. But they're probably gonna ban out Pugna, I think.
Pugna, Monkey, Invoker, something. I don't think you want to Invoker versus Timber Sword. That lane doesn't
go rough.
too well. Yeah,
the lane's rough. Yeah. Honestly, even SF could work with the teamfight lineup. Can go for a fast mech. We've seen that before.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm looking at SF Pugna here, and no one likes both of them a lot. So.
Coming down to the wire here now. What do you expect to actually get locked in at this point?
Well, for TNC, they need
304 position.
They need like a Tim's hero.
Unless they swap the Magnus. I think they're going to stick. Let's just keep putting Rio on Magnus. So
yeah.
Playmaker, I think, get some control and lockdown, like something to try and stop TB getting Sunder coming out.
Well, what's that on position 4 now, though? Like, a lot of position 4s are banned and picked already.
Yeah, or Spirit Tiny are the two that, for me, come to mind the most. So without those two.
I mean, Task of Horse is the other one, and Elder Titan, but they're both picked or banned.
Perhaps you look into putting Mag as a 4 and getting a 3?
I mean, you could go Earthshaker, but it's so damn slow.
Yeah,
it's not really a thing, yeah. But Magnus's 4 is also weak. It's just weak.
Bust out some, like, Spirit Breaker or something, you know? Pull a J Storm.
It will have to be something like that, honestly.
Yeah.
They definitely need lockdown. They have a lot of damage potential, but they need lockdown.
Yeah.
support. I don't know. Kunka. Oh, it's banned. Never mind.
Got the Husker, so not the
Virtus.pro.
Pugna type option.
Yeah. But of course, Bat
There you go.
Rider.
I like that a lot.
So it's a position for Mag.
Could be position for bat, but
Yeah, could be. I mean, it gives him catch, but it's like, I don't know. It's weird. Very weird.
what's weird? Well, you mean just having it like one of those heroes as a 4 position, or?
No, I mean, Bat, Mag could potentially be really good, because obviously Lich only reduces the physical damage.
10 seconds.
And the TB doesn't lane well against the Bat at all.
Yeah.
So they have a huge window of opportunity there.
5 seconds
But just
remaining.
like for the game, it feels like weird.
They didn't really have any catch though come mid game. Like that's where it feels nice because you're not just relying like Mag or P was kind of what you look at for your team fight, your catch. So I think that's where they needed, you know, the Earth Spirit like the tiny type hero to just start a fight off, find a pick, and Bat Rider at least gives you that.
I mean, definitely if they go mid late game as like even gold, I think they have an advantage. But I just feel like the laning phase might be a bit rough. We'll see what they pick middle lane actually.
Yeah, what VP get?
Yeah.
Mention the Pugna. It gives you another magic damage option here if they do get something like a Pugna.
Pugna. SF is pretty scary to play into PA and Bad Rider.
SF feels.
But the lane
squishy,
is going to
but-
be very easy against the Timber.
And the new way we've seen people itemize the SF with the auras, like the Greaves and stuff can kind
And
of
so
work.
do you go with just Pugna, okay.
Seems like the safest option.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, so Rio picks up the bat, which means...
Offlane bat,
I mean,
position
Rio
for
or bat. It's like one of his signature heroes.
yeah, we spoke about
almost.
it before, yeah. Was
Right.
banned out last game, picked up this game.
Yep.
Now with everything in front of us right now, who do we think comes out on top in this draft? Do we have a clear winner here?
What I think is going to happen, they're going to try to put the Tide against the Bad Rider, and then the TB against the PA lane with the Tusk as support. And potentially that shuts down PA, and Tide, I think he's okay against Bad. Not super good, but it's playable, because you purge off the charges if you get too much damage.
If he dives on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's what I should try to do. It's just
I'm going TNC. I think TNC have it. We're going to go against the mold. You know,
I mean,
been on the
he's just-
VP
First time breaking the
bandwagon
mold.
too
he's
long.
just doing it because he wants to be a rebel, you know?
Yeah, he's just rebelling. This is God's
I mean,
rebellious
We've been agreeing
stage.
for too long, Black. We just went together on 4 VP predictions in a row.
Yeah,
could-
honestly, Black, on the way over here, you could not agree with anyone on anything. In the bus ride over, you found a way to argue about absolutely everything.
Because
under
they
the sun.
disagree with me.
You were just straight up making shit up. You spent
Happens
a good
sometimes.
10 minutes just
But it happens
retelling
sometimes.
history. Yeah.
Sometimes it happens.
So make up who's going to win this game too.
I mean, I could literally just say TNC just to mock him, but I'm gonna go with logic. I'm going VP.
There we go. For the first time, we have a disagreement on the desk. I do also want to give a major shout out to our biggest partner here on the desk in SAP. Thank you for being the official analytics partner of the desk. But now, ready to jump into it. For the first time, we have our analysts not in agreement, but we're going to get to hear what the casters say as we jump into the action.
You know, it's really nice when the panel doesn't agree. Controversy stems great discussion, unless Black's involved.
Black to discuss. I don't know what black is to discussion. It's sort of like a.
Black
It's
is
like the mute
discussion.
button on your remote. But it said it's on your brain.
With Black, it's just like I've changed different language on my remote. Hang on, this makes no sense to me. I don't speak this language of his.
Yeah.
It's not even German. It's whatever. It's just unique to him. Anyway, drafting phase from TNC looks to be everything you probably expect from them. With the Magnus PA, they've already had success with this earlier today. Bat Rider, as Gods was pointing out, another signature offlaner for TNC. Do you like how the Timbersaw finishes up their lineup?
I do. I think it's a really, really hard counter to Timber and Tide. And
Terra?
wow, Tide and Terrorblade, yeah. I don't know how I feel about this Bat Rider, though. Tidehunter is traditionally like the hard counter to Bat, because you kind of just waddle in, and even if you get lassoed, you're going to cleanse
Oh boy,
it.
Ninja Boogie is in a world of absolute hurt. Couldn't walk away.
Lich Tusk.
Yeah, it's a real combination.
Oh, look at the mag. Okay, never mind. I thought he was going to do some fancy skewer play onto the high ground, but it's actually on cooldown. I think Tim's is just going to pull this creep wave. Yeah. You know, now that teams are aggro tri-laning instead of the safe lane, you know, you got to switch up where you actually pull those creeps.
Yep.
Or you're going to run mid. No comment. I don't know.
Oh, well, we saw it during the minor, right? It was pulling creep waves off the side lane and dragging them in towards the mid lane, so that your mid core would actually be like a full level above the other mid, or something ridiculously stupid like that. There's gonna be a hard lane for the PA.
Yeah, for sure.
With the removal of PMS, which was not normally made this mid lane a lot more possible. She's got the basic stout shield to go up against no one spam of Nether Blast.
Yeah, no one did a really good job as well of ensuring he hit those Nether Blasts to start the laning phase. If you're going to win this matchup hard as a Pugna, you've got to heavily harass before PA has the ability to trade with you, like level 3, level 4. Look at this, Mag coming middle. They're actually just going in.
They're going to skewer him a long way back, though. Able to do so. This will give it a little bit more time for PA to have another Stifling Dagger. No one, a quick Fairy Fire. Doesn't have any stick charges available, and he'll actually get... No, we won't. You've got the Phantom Strike available for Gabby. They add the pressure while up on top lane. Ninja Boogie, it's the same combination as before. It's just this full-on run. Solo does have the sticky napalm on him, but he'll salve up. TP's going to arrive from Tim's. He's still only level 1. Skewer will come off cooldown in a second time. Doesn't want to push the Lich too far away, because that's what the sticky napalm's for. Keep the slow up and then let the beat down come. Ramses, okay, now the skewer will come, but stick charges from Lich. Give him the life back again. Roger, he's low himself, and a double creep wave of the dire side will still not dissuade Virtus.pro from coming in underneath the tower. A third TP's in as Ninja Boogie returning to the lane. It looks like Solo should die unless Ramses wants to take the aggro of the creep wave. He's been able to do so.
Yeah, but
this is just like, they're just kiting out the aggro so well, Virtus.pro.
Yeah, and they ensured that multiple creep waves actually died to that top tower. They're going to get XP off this one, but they lost a full wave of XP on the dire side. Maybe just the 2 creeps. Didn't see exactly how far away they were, but...
Skewering back Roger. This is nice for TNC. No Poison Touch leveled up, however. He went for Shadow Wave instead. Solo will deny himself up to the tier 2 tower. Could have done it to the neutrals, but did it to the tower instead.
It's a real curious game thus far. I like the last pick, Pugna, just because they have now some sort of peel for the PA. I think the key hero in this game has got to be the Armel Timber. One of my favorites to watch on this hero. And if he goes off, much like no one did in the previous series.
They're snowballing forward with 3. All they got to do is turn on the Frost Shield, and the Bat Rider has no way to escape. Ramses even secures the last hit. Well, then they move towards the mid lane as Tim's. They wait for the slow from the Phantom Assassin Stifling Dagger. Tim's got to get in front of no one and away from that Invis rune. It skewers him over, but no one picks it up while he's being skewered. That's not part of probably the original plan.
I'm trying to look I'm trying to think of who's going to actually like be the aggressor in this game. And strange enough, I actually think it's going to be VP just because of their supports. I mean, Tusk, Earth Spirit, Elder Titan just seem to be by far the best 4s in the patch right now. And that, with a Lich on top of it, like this is one of my favorite support combos in the game. You're so strong in the laning phase, roaming, and team fights later on. And even though Bat outmatches a TB in the lane, when you have these 2 supports, I mean, any core can be protected.
And they are looking to go again. Rio kind of knows it's coming. That's why he's sticking napalming over the tree line, trying to keep tabs on where Roger's moving. Because this does kind of buff up Ramses every... Okay, yeah. They found Ninja Boogie. Walk up, turn on the tag team, and Ramses very happy to pop the Metamorphosis just to find the instant kill, while no one is diving heavily underneath the tier 1 tower in the mid. And they're still prompt TP support. He's got Nether Blast and Decrepify available. Gabby is very, very low. So the Nether Blast is out trying to take the creep wave, but Gabby just plays the distance game. Jumps back in, then Ninja Boogie takes the kill with the Shadow Wave. This bottom lane also seems kind of stupid. One walks in and burns the Whirling Death. The other then walks up, hits the Anchor Smash. No one does any damage anymore. But up on top lane, once again the combination's out. That Frost Shield from Lich, always the front liner. But Metamorphosis wears out, and VP will back off.
And this is a repeat of the original series we saw, where you have one offlaner.
Tim's dead, actually. Like, they're battling for the 5-minute runes again, and it's Roger and Solo doing it just as a duo.
Yep. And VP just ahead in all 3 lanes. Not just that, but Rior has just got no game. Level 3, sure, but he has no real last hits. He's gonna be running around with Tranquil Boots pretty soon. But then what? And in the meantime, mid lane, look at that mid tower. It's already below half HP.
You're against a Pugna. And Gabby can't can't harass him out. He always requires support, and that's where the Magnus is meant to come in. But this Magnus is still, he's level 2, 5.5 minutes in. He's got no space, but with a haste rune, they've already got the slow on no one. He's got to dodge the skewer. Can't do it, however. Pull back in, but Decrepify Drain. He's just killing off the Phantom Assassin and getting all the life back to survive. Another Nether Blast out. Ninja Boogie, no Shadow Wave available. And even Tuskar begins his TPM, which forces TNC to back off. And they killed the Batrider on top lane while that was going on.
He didn't use Blur on Gabby. And he just died.
Yep. The hands go up in the air for everyone out there who doesn't have vision cam on Kyle.
I mean, I feel like no one is one of the few players who's going to be able to make that play, but at the same time, you got to kind of see that coming. I think that if Gabby, I thought Gabby was baiting with the Blur, and I'm like, oh, this is cute. You know, they're gonna guarantee the kill on Pugna, but no. Unfortunately, no one picks that up, and he still has staying power in the lane too. Up top, Terrorblade. I'd like to see Tims get aggressive here. You have the Invis rune, and it's Bat versus TB. If you can keep those stacks up, Terrorblade will die, but you got to be cautious.
He saw him.
5 stacks.
Tim's walked in range of the tower's detection.
This is a kill if you dive. Where's Tims?
Well, he's coming over now. He backed off to put down an observer ward, but damn, Batrider's had to just go so far. Now tag team Roger. He knows how deep Batrider is in, and a level 1 Gush takes away all of the movement speed. Solo wants to try and keep on top of Tims. Don't let him just skewer away. He'll take Solo with him, but the snowball had already begun from Roger. Tims will run to the Roshan pit. Difficult to survive. The Nether Blast from no one will probably ensure the kill and make sure that Roshan doesn't do anything, even though that slam was close. They're still 9-3, and Virtus.pro, they are just playing everywhere around TNC, but there's one lane.
Yep.
One lane for TNC that's rocking it, and that is on bottom lane. The Timbersaw, he is the highest net worth on the board at the moment. But that won't stop Ramses and Solo from just, one, stealing the life of Tims, killing him underneath the tower. Armel's able to finish off his own TP out. He actually went to the top lane. All that life got drained out by the Pugna, which is why Armel is already in retreat and burning his wand charges.
Yep. This is the right move from VP. They do a great job of making sure that their heroes are matched up properly throughout the entire game. And this critical part where you swap from the early to the mid game is you got to make moves like this. You have to recognize, hey, we can't deal with Timber. Only the Pugna can. He TP's down. Now all of a sudden, Timber goes from hitting your tier 2 to being relatively ineffective up top in the safe lane, just trading with the Timber.
They're going to try and fight again. Terrorblade doesn't have Sunder Revival. The damage from Armel got pulled too far away and put too many points in reactive armor in order, like, just not having the damage output to kill Terrorblade with one swing.
Yeah, when you play against Timbers nowadays, you got to just try and avoid them. Keep them hemmed into the side of the map that you're least concerned with, and right now that's going to be your safe lane.
Tims is dead. Ravage burnt from Pasha. Does so much damage. Anchor Smash plus the Gush. The Magnus just has no life to survive this, you'd think. The Mammoth would be strong. Roger's on the run away from Armel. Easy dodge of the Chakra. Mid tower also gets taken down while that's going on. Gabby, Tims, and Boogie not finding any kind of real defense for it.
I like this though. Roger, like, you can't contest Timber, but he stops him for a wave. He gets a bit of experience, and now look who's back.
Yep, no one. Decrepify, Drain. He's got Timber Chain available and is able to get out to the trees.
Yep. This is really smart from no one. Just keep following around this Timbersaw. Don't let him get a free game. And there's a tower here, so you're fine just continuing to chase and pressure. They have good vision behind the tower as well. This is the dream for VP. They already got the mid tower. Mid lane, though, Roger in some trouble.
Yep, yeah, to Snowball. He's going to the range creep. Ninja Boogie will stay with him. That's with a stolen double damage rune. Actually trying to shard block out Tims. Didn't work the way he hoped it would, and now Phantom Assassin rotates over. They want this kill on Gabby, and they're able to claim it as well.
Radiant are scanning.
Rune spawning in just a moment.
There's another Drain attack. Timber actually faking his Timber Chain. Not willing to commit it just pure defensively.
VP with a 4K gold lead already. Really subtle. I feel like a big part of that is just Batrider, who's currently below Roger in net worth. Really suffering, and just a product of that super strong tri-lane from VP. Not much Reor can do, but casually farm the jungle. And after all the nerfs Batrider's taken the last 2.5 years, this is just not where you want to be. He is very much a hero that has to snowball and have a dominant laning phase, or you just look like a creep.
TNC does have a good advantage, and that's the Dire Observer Ward that's up on top lane. Has been watching all the movement of Virtus.pro, so things like this where Timbersaw walks into the lane, he's okay with it. Like, they already know how much backup is behind him. They know there's 3 heroes. They know they cannot kill the Timber by themselves, especially while Ravage is down. In 17 seconds, they'll be back up. And with the arrival of Tusker, it's a little bit more dangerous. More control against the Timbersaw. They found a good target in Solo. A Stifling Dagger. He'll quickly Frost Shield as a level 3. And with the Reflect, TNC not feeling like they can engage, but up on top lane. The tower continues to be pressured. Solo will die to Gabby. And they're really TPing in hard. The defense of the top tier 2 tower, paramount for TNC. A good Sharkum into the back lines, but no one, again, stealing that life out of the Timbersaw. Force him to retreat for half a second, but that doesn't stop the rest of TNC pushing forward. Pasha with a good Ravage. No one as well as Pasha able to complete their TP out. Roger will not be as lucky. But a big defensive Ravage that's at least able to save the life of 2 cores.
Yep, that was well worth it. Yeah, you don't find kills, but to your point, when you save 2 heroes, it's like -2 kills, which is kind of like getting the kills, right?
Sure. Sure.
Math wasn't my strong suit, but we'll call it a plus.
It's by taking advantage or not giving advantage.
Indeed.
That's what you're going with.
I like this Aether Lens on the Pugna. No one going to skill the health talent as well. Standard stuff. Looks like Ramses is going to go for the Manta, which you just need to do in a game against a Batrider. You have to have multiple methods of cleansing yourself of stickies. And I fear for Rior in this game, man. Already faced with a tall task coming into Ring for Cuckoo, unable to attend the event. And he had a very grim game in the first one of the series. Just kind of a non-factor in power bot. And now he's in a position where you have no game impact yet. And all you can really do is farm.
You just wait it out, right? Like, we have to remember this is a Magnus PA lineup. No matter what point of the game you get, this lineup still works really, really well. You just need a couple of stacks, which they have prepped up a lot. As long as Tim's doesn't die to the Ancients again, all they need is, yeah, Dazzle can walk over and let Gabby take the quad stack of Ancients.
I love this move, though. They sniffed out those Ancients. They have an idea what's going on, and they're just going to walk straight into the pit. And this is why I think they love this Tidehunter. He's always getting a Vlad's. This game going for the Medallion as well. We saw this in the game they played, Game 3 against eHome. It's so much minus armor, and you're just so strong. Your team fight presence by just waddling in as a watermelon.
Oh, Timber. It's going to throw the Chakram in. It's right on top of Roshan. Radiant will still get the last hit on Roshan, and Ramses will have the Aegis, the Immortal. But the trade-off is there's a lot of money coming into the Phantom Assassin, and she is trying to complete up the Desolator before the next fight. This is hard. Still short a fair chunk of cash.
Yeah. No one on TNC really having the greatest time. And this is, I think, more of a support disparity than anything else, because we've seen Tusk involved in 9 kills, Lich involved in 8, whereas you look at the side of TNC, Dazzle and Mag, like, how do you get involved? How do you make moves around the map in a game like this? It's just really not possible. And it's part of the reason we see Tusk banned quite often.
Yeah, Magnus is basically just a buff. That's all he is.
Did Tusk in the minor, didn't he have like a 100% contest ratio? I want to say he did.
He was pretty close. Like, he was very high up there. Well, skewer over towards mid. This is the real Ramses as well. Remember, Sunder is available, and he has the Aegis Immortal, so they'll commit the RP. Sunder will not come off, but now the rest of Virtus.pro are coming over. So RP burned, but the Terror Blade does have to lose his Aegis to the Immortal. The trade-off from Virtus.pro is going to try and be the bottom towers. Yep. They're already creep skipping it out. Armel is looking for his own revenge up on top, but there's a Timbersaw trying to push buildings against a Pugna. He is so slow in comparison.
Yeah, man, this is another way to deal with the Timber. Just ignore him. You've already slowed him down. You stopped him from snowballing thanks to the rotations of no one, and now you just walk down lanes as 5. Like,
going after Ramses. He's still got Sunder, and they don't have a stun available, so Ramses can just, yeah, steal that life. Of course, at the same time, one charge from PA, not to mention the crits. They work through this Terrorblade real fast. Keep in mind that was before the Desolator even arrived onto the Templar Assassin. You're getting that damage on bottom lane. A skewer up from Magnus. Ravage will pop. It will connect over on 2. But at the same time, you kind of already had the lasso on solo. Chain Frost is available. Ninja Boogie, he'll Shallow Grave and stay a little alive a little longer, while the Chain Frost, Armel and Batrider, they cop the primary brunt of that attack. A Timbersaw can chain herself away as Phantom Assassin just wants to run out, blurred up. Gonna find no one. I don't know if he really wants to try and take this fight. There's no one. Okay, up he'll go. Solo will move over. Level 4 Frost Shield makes it difficult. Ninja Boogie's already down. A blink forward. Gabi! He'll crip through no one and try and find a little bit more damage. Nope, he'll try and TP out and then die. Ninja Boogie TP'd in, but it's a little too late to help his teammate.
The one issue with this full aggro build from no one, he's got the Aether Dagon, sure, but only 6 armor when he's away from that Tidehunter plus 4 Vlads, and PA represents a ton of minus armor at the moment. This is before the -3 armor talent, so you're going to more than negative when you're by that Dazzle.
Well, their Observer Wards are so good from Virtus.pro. 2 aggressive ones on the hill and on the side, allowing them all the information they require to try and take this fight. Maybe against a Timbersaw, it's a little bit more difficult.
Nice fear.
Ninja Boogie will finally go tick out from Roger, and RP catches through, but there's no follow-up to this. It's like watching a black hole with no other heroes around. It's just disappointing.
That's just typical VP Dota 2. There's still 5, guys.
Yep.
There's no lasso anymore. Your Timbersaw, while he is tanky, not really much damage output just yet. And you can see that was a great fear timing, or not fear, Sinister Gaze from Solo's Lich, because he interrupts the Timber Chain, which means that they have now another 4 seconds with which to deal maximum DPS. And they just walk up the high ground. They still got meta.
Why not? Why not indeed? Meta will now time out. Ramses backs off with a real hero, but with Dazzle still being dead for 4 seconds, they know they can take the tower and then potentially back out. 23 seconds till Ravage is up, but they look for the fight and said, Timbersaw! How quickly did they just kill him? A buyback comes out from the Timber. Lasso pulling Terrorblade back almost to tier 4 towers. The hub breaking free as the Frost Shields are up. Ramses tries to dodge out with the Mana Style. Still got some one charges and Sunder available, removing the life of Ninja Boogie and putting it back into himself.
Ravage,
the melee Rikes they haven't brought down just yet. Ravage, you're right. Pasha, he's baiting it. He wants TNC to come a little bit further forward. While Dazzle is down, there's no saving grace for them. VP will push this issue. While there's no RP, it is Virtus.pro with that big power. Gabi, he'll go in deep, and now Pasha, the Ravage, it hits all 4 remaining TNC alive players, and Timbersaw, he'll chain himself away. PA will buy back, and now they force back. TNC looking for their own kills, but the drain from no one, pulling it out of the PA, and the Dagon to find the kill. TNC, and VP just want to go to the next game. They want this done quick and dirty, and it looks like they're going to get this. Another buyback, this one out from the Magnus. They've committed almost every single one, only Batrider hasn't bought back in the last 2-3 minutes. But Timbersaw, does he have enough? They'll snowball forward, punch him and flip him. Timbersaw chains on down, they got a quick Decrepify out, but Pugna's already gone. And Armel will complete his TP away to safety.
VP are just so good at this in and out style of fighting. I love watching them play when they have heroes like Pugna Terrorblade, Tusk, where you can just immediately go from defensive to offensive. Like they just continuously bait TNC into poor positions and immediately blow up the core they want to target. That was 2 deaths on the PA, a death on the Timber, what was it, I think 2 on the Bat?
Ramses. Roger is actually able to delay this fight so long. He snowballed to remove so many of the sticky napalm stacks that were prepared by the Batrider, but a board time for Terrorblade to TP into the shrine and then just walk over, while Pasha, with a haste rune, will chase the Batrider around the cliffside. Ramses will arrive as well, but he couldn't keep the damage in, so a blink away for Batrider will save his life. But this happens around the 20-minute mark, so bounty runes are up. Armel's already taken both the top. It'll be a 50-50 trade.
What's going on with games, man? Is this the patch? Is this today? Because
it's
they
chaotic.
were fast at the minor, but it's 20 minutes, and it just feels like we're already in the late game.
Yep. This is turbo mode, right?
It kinda.
But better.
I mean, there was a lot more gold added into the game when you consider that all of a sudden denies went from 25% XP to you to 25% gold. Stacks as well being buffed to give more gold to the stack E or stacker when the stack E clears them. Just combine that, you know, talents, all these new cheap items.
It's about increasing the speed of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, if things do really go late game, they're still going to be very entertaining. But it's a lot more of a rare occurrence. And the teams, they're finding better ways to do it. Like, VP are forcing this issue so hard. Ether lands on Pugna with a level 2 Dagon. He's even gone for a plate mail, so they can't just cut through him, which is what the Phantom Assassin wants to do. So he's even got his own sustain. And, well, another good push from Virtus.pro, and TNC will be on the ropes. 4 heroes, everyone but Batrider used their buyback to defend against the last aggression of Virtus.pro.
And I don't see that aggression stopping anytime soon.
Yep.
Roshan
smoked up looking for a fight.
Roche can spawn at any moment. 2:40 actually is going to be the official time. The teams don't know that, of course, so I expect VP. Yeah, you want to get aggressive, but you've already cleared the bottom shrine. I think you take top shrines. Secure the map. Look for next Roche. You know how far ahead you are.
Well,
another
one. Well, when you got them to burn and you're looking for kills, they draw the line around the mid.
This is cool, though. They're just backing up their Terrorblade. The 4-in-1 smoke, the VP special. They always leave one guy showing in the lane.
These sentry wars down from TNC are always in range of any observer or the Virtus.pro is putting down.
Look at this, though.
But they may not care. They'll just go up.
The PA, though, he sees this DD rune up top, and he's blurred. He's going to grab it and immediately look to go towards mid. This is what TNC needs to have a prayer in this fight. And one big RP, you never know, could change their fate.
But the PA is not... Actually, the PA isn't powered up. She's actually taking the creep wave behind him. Trying to remove it so the backdoor protection does kick in. The Terrorblade just goes up, and there's one creep that's still alive that allows him to finish off the range racks. PA is going to need a fresh empower. There it comes in. But where's your attack? Another smoke coming in from TNC. This one's in the back lines, trying to keep the Dazzle out of vision, but the Ravage pops out by the Tidehunter. Batrider instantly bites back, but then again, the Sunder has changed the life with the Timbersaw, so Ramsey's still fighting strong, but that's why Gabby jumps in, looking for the kill, making the most of the DD, has to go into the blur. There's no detection on him, now he'll break free of it. Quite visible, decrepifying the Tidehunter, trying to buy that little bit of safety as the Lich Chain Frost will not bounce more than twice. Virtus.pro going to retreat, but they got what they wanted. The mid-racks is gone, and somehow Roger just TPs out in front of the fountain, so sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure what their last pick should be in this scenario as TNC, but I'm pretty sure it's not bad. It's just such a hard hero to play into Tide, not to mention the Pugna. Like, he can't even Firefly when in range of the Nether Warder. He's going to cancel his own Blink, and it just... He exploded.
Yep.
They didn't even need to Ravage. I don't think he was going to survive another second. Scotty on the Terrorblade. Roshan is about to spawn. 20 seconds away. 2 racks advantage. And I think VP may have learned a bit from their match against eHome. I don't expect them to let a team survive for as long as they did in that game 3.
Yeah. They have to push it. They have to push it hard. At the same time, though, TNC thinks a lot about themselves, too. They're already 1 game up, so even if VP do win this, it's still only going to tie this series. And it looks like Virtus.pro, they're not caring about Roshan, who is alive. They 4-man smoke up and have Terrorblade push into the tier 2 tower on top. But there's a trade-off. TNC are taking the mid-tier 1, and Magnus was trying to push the tier 2 tower on bottom. But they're not in position ready to fight just yet. The push is already coming in from Virtus.pro. Terrorblade doesn't have Metamorphosis for 10 seconds, so he doesn't really care too much. It seems just push it. And with the Sinister Gaze, Armel, defensive Yule Scepter, will buy him a little bit of time. Ninja Boogie's nearby too. Shallow Grave, he will pop it off, even though Timbersaw will be alive, and Batrider, the lasso, but the Chain Frost. Riora just cannot survive this, dead for so long. This is the big death timer, thanks to the buybacks from previous times. Magnus, what do you want to do? You Shockwave. All he can do is skewer into RP, but RP's down for 10 seconds, and even under this BKB protection, the Skadi of Ramses slows down the Phantom Assassin, so she cannot stay aggressive and attacking into Virtus.pro.
Not much to say on this one, Toby. There's no Batrider. There's no real initiation. Pugna walking around with the plate mail now.
I think you can say GG.
Oh, yeah.
Even the blink from Pasha. He'll end this with a 4-man Ravage. You can RP and skewer them back in, but once you call GG, there is no going back. Yeah. Virtus.pro will level the series up 1 apiece, and it kind of almost felt like we just had an extra 5 minutes in that game, which wasn't even necessary.
After that first Rax went down, I'm pretty sure this game was in the books. Just a clean game from VP. I'm not sure I want to give this team Tusk ever. Their lanes become so much stronger. You guarantee that Ramses is going to have a good time.
Yep.
And Roger, one of the best playmakers in Dota 2, is now given one of the few heroes that can do just that. It just feels like both these two games came down to draft. Very well played on both sides. I think this is a preview of what will probably be possibly a top 6, top 4 matchup, because both these teams are impressive.
You're putting up pretty high. I look forward to seeing more of these two teams. They're already very aggressive, makes very entertaining Dota, and the entertainment does not stop here. We'll have a short break and be back with our final decider for the winners bracket final.